Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of Another in the Fire.
Benji's fast.
She's trying to get it over with.
Let's get this one started.
Okay, so today's episode, we're going to get real.
Yes.
It's a real
More real.
More real.
Yeah, we're diving deeper. Y'all keep watching. We keep bringing them.
We've been doing real. Just more
Yes,
detailed.
okay. Deeper into the realness. Deep
Yeah.
down. I don't know.
We're just going to keep riding this wave, girl.
We're going to, friend, do you want to tell us what we're talking about?
Well, today we're actually going to get a little more vulnerable with you than we have been in the past few episodes because of the topic. It's something that a lot of us deal with, and I'm not who I used to be. And we're going to share how that looks differently to each and every one of us.
Okay. Yes. Okay, so before we get started, we're going to go over a lesson. What is it? A lesson?
Laughs and
lesson. Something good we went through the week. So, I don't know, something that happened. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm all like, man, I wasn't ready with one. Anybody want to go before? Before me?
Let me see.
I
here.
will share.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
One of mine is a lesson for this week that I do want to share. And it's just being... I had a lot of light shed on me this week for allowing myself to be appreciative, allowing myself to be needed. We do talk about a lot of things on these podcasts, and I feel like everything that we share kind of just comes up. I don't know if I'm more aware of it or it's just coming up because God's like, hey, here you are. We're talking about it. Now you're dealing with it. But allowing myself to be appreciated by people. With everything that went on, and I shared with y'all about being able to help with my couponing and things like that. I didn't feel like I was enough. I didn't feel like I was doing enough. I didn't feel like I was helping enough, saving enough, contributing enough. But I had a lot of things happen in my family this past week where God really revealed to me that I'm right where I'm supposed to be, when I'm supposed to be here. So without getting too much into it, I just wanted to share that God really spoke to me this week of allowing myself to just be in the moment, be in the present. And when my husband is feeling appreciative of me and the girls are feeling appreciative of me, to allow myself to be appreciated. Sometimes as moms, as wives, we don't allow ourselves to be that person. And we always justify things, or we make excuses for things of, oh, but I'm just supposed to do that. Like, no, it's okay to get that pat on the back again. Like, it's okay to be appreciated. So for me, it was more of a lesson of allowing myself to just be a person that is appreciated in my family.
Like receive it.
Allow myself to receive it. Yes.
That is good. That is good. Okay, so for me, laughs and lessons.
You rolled your eyes when you said that. On the podcast, she rolled her eyes.
Yeah, because I didn't know what I was going to share, and then I was like, okay, God. So my husband's been staying with grandma twice a week, and it didn't bother me because I'm like, it's cool. I can sleep alone. I'm good.
It's for a good reason.
At the beginning, for a good reason, absolutely. But at the beginning, it didn't bother me. We're great. Stay out late type of thing. I stay up late and stay out late all the time anyway. But it was like, oh, Benny's not home anyway, right?
Yeah.
So, but I'm feeling it now. Like, I miss him.
You miss him.
Yeah. So the laugh is, I think that I can be alone and I'm good and I'm strong and, I don't need a man.
I need this space.
I know how to lock all the
time.
doors in the car. And then the lesson is, no, you need your husband.
Yeah.
You miss him. I do miss him late.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I fall asleep downstairs and then I go to bed really late, like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh, darn, I fell asleep downstairs again. Now I'm like, I can't sleep in the bed without him.
Yeah.
Which is funny. 'Cause
You thought you could.
again, vulnerable.
God's dealing with you.
And he doesn't know this, so this will be the first time he hears it. I do miss you in the bed.
Okay, for me, I would say the lesson that I learned this past week is, I think I've always known this about me, but I think I thought I didn't need it. So I'm very much like a list person, like I will list my stuff or like list stuff that I have to do. I'm that person that at the end of the year, I'm listing my goals.
Yeah.
Like throughout the year, and then mid-year we'll review them to see where we're at, and then towards the end of the year where I review them again to make sure where I want to be, But anyways, so I stopped doing that for my daily stuff. Like I'm putting like what I have to do, and I stopped doing that for quite some time, for months, I would say.
Like daily tasks?
Like my daily task, like work stuff, like stuff to do with my husband's business, stuff
So you're
to
just
do.
going on memory?
I'm just going on memory.
You're winging it?
Yes.
And stress level, because we talked about this.
Yes, and I know I spoke about it, I think
Yeah.
a couple episodes ago. Well, today, this week, I started doing my work day, like my whole day, like stuff that I need to accomplish, not only daily, but weekly. Like towards the end of the week, I need to have this done, like, so I taught myself, the lesson is that I can't go off of memory. I have too much going on.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I should continue making those lists, because now I don't know, it's like a satisfaction to me knowing
Like
that I
done.
accomplished something.
You
Yeah.
can see it on paper.
Yes. So I switched.
Well, your phone.
Yeah, my phone on my notes. So I switched to that, and it brings satisfaction to me, thinking I didn't need that anymore. So I'm back on it now this past week. So I feel like I'm getting better at it. I'm getting back into it. Not better at it. I'm getting back into it, which is really helping me out. I felt like I accomplished a lot.
Keeps you more organized.
Yes, it keeps like I don't know what I was thinking. Like just stopping.
You just thought you were grown.
Yeah. I'm not.
I'm not.
I don't need my husband.
I don't need a checklist.
So now I know, like, I can't function, even though I think I can. No, I guess that's the laugh. Like, I can't do that. Claudia, what were you thinking?
Who do you think you are? Yeah, sometimes we tell ourselves, like, who do I think I am?
Yeah, I'm all like, what was I thinking? Why did you do that? So I do need a list. It's good to have a list, because I feel like it brings like structure in my day and my week, and knowing instead of like dragging it on.
Yeah.
Like I need to sit down and do it, even if I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Kind of
It's
just.
easy. Things fall through the cracks so easy when you have a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yes,
And you do
and I have a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be my lesson of the week. It's just when it doesn't work out, it's okay to go back and until you figure it out.
Yeah.
So I went back. That what helped me, and now it's time to move forward and grow. And don't think
Go
that
back
I
to
can do
writing
that.
it down. Yeah, yeah, that's good.
So I would say that's the lesson of the week for me. And so yeah. Anyways, ladies, let's get started. I always say ladies because I feel like ladies are the
our
only
Target
ones.
audience.
Hey,
Yeah.
but we've learned that we have men watching too
Yes.
and learning from
We don't want
us.
to disclude any gender
Yes, no.
and our husbands because they do listen.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for the support. We love y'all. Okay, so let's get started. Who were we is the question. And let's go back. Let's take it back to our early 20s, early 30s.
Late teens, early 20s?
Teens, late teens, 20s. What
How
would y'all
far
say
back
that?
do y'all want us to go?
Teens or tweens?
I'm not who I used to be.
Teens, teens is way back. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing in my teens. I was
Yeah.
just trying to.
When life started lifing, when was that?
Yeah.
Teens was true traumatic for me, so my 20s.
Yeah.
My 20s, I was bold, outspoken. You don't tell me what to do. No accountability.
That was your teens or now?
Oh, I meant.
Our 20s? No, I think you said 20s, but I'm thinking now it's the same, no?
I have a little bit more accountability.
Yeah. Structured.
It's 2.0, but better.
Yeah. I think so.
But yeah, in my 20s, I was more fierce and courageous, more advocating, but I was also more angry and more heart-hardened. So I didn't have any emotions or feelings. So yeah, that was my 20s, even though I was fun still.
I feel like the my 20s was like the that I was trying to figure myself out. You know, that it was like the kind of, what are we doing? Yeah, I can make the mistakes. I can do, you know, I did have a lot of like, I didn't know who identity, I guess. I didn't know who I was or who I wanted to be. I was just going based off the people I surrounded myself with, thinking I had to be that.
Yeah.
Or do that. So I guess it was a lot of identity also.
Was that your early 20s or all of your 20s?
I would say early 20s. Yeah, early 20s. Okay. Because, yeah, I think don't they say that at age 25, your
frontal
lobe is fully developed. So I would say around that time is whenever it clicked. Of like, this ain't life, you know, like, or this is not the route, you know, this is not what I should be doing, like, and it kind of like ignite something in me.
That didn't happen for me until my end of my 20s.
Yeah, mine was about mid-20s. Mm-hmm. Who I used to be, I feel like she was very, not fierce, she wasn't afraid. She didn't think too much into things, kind of just flew by the seat of her pants, went and did stuff, enjoyed life and went everywhere, did everything, loved people. The vulnerability was just through the roof because homegirl who I used to be was just not afraid. And I think because of that got me into situations that I was in, that I had to learn the lessons, because I was just... I've shared before, I'm the baby of the group. I always went places with my sisters. Everywhere I went, I was with people that I knew, people that I trusted. So it created something in me that just didn't think twice. And I would just go and do things. I would go and be in the bars. I would be drinking. I just lived this life of, I don't want to say carelessness, but almost carelessness, like fearlessness. Yeah. That was who I was in my late teens, early 20s. I mean, I've shared before that that's when I had gotten married the first time, was in that time frame. And a lot of that person who I was the reason why I met my husband at that time, is because we were just like two firecrackers together. Like, it didn't matter. Yeah. So that's who I used to be. And now I'm so reserved and nice and quiet.
I know. That's true.
I rolled my eyes again.
I think whenever I think about like my 20s, I kind of go back and I'm all like, when was that shift?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, like, when did you, like we said right now, like, oh, mid-30s, but what caused that shift? Yeah. Like, what made you realize that you didn't want to do that? You know, like, or you didn't want to, you wanted to outgrow your old self, or I don't know. In my case, when I say outgrow, it's just like, yes, I was doing all the partying, all the drinking, all the hanging out with friends, all the clubbing, all of that kind of stuff. But whenever that shift happened was in my mid-20s, but when I did that shift, it was because I was in a state that I realized I was in a situation that not only affected me, but it also, I've shared here that I was a teen parent. I got pregnant at 14. I had my daughter at 15. So I was very much had to grow up instantly. Mm-hmm. So I feel like since I was like growing up so fast, that I never, when my kid was old enough to stay at my mom's or to go to the restroom by herself and all that kind of stuff, is whenever I was just like my party life. Like I would say, I wouldn't say party. Well, yeah, kind of, because I would hang out with friends more. I would go to the clubs. I'm thankful for my parents because they always helped me out. Whatever stage I was in, they were always there to help me out with my daughter. But then whenever I came to realize that all my friends didn't have kids.
Yeah.
You know?
When you were hanging out with the people at that time, none of them had kids?
No, none of them had kids. It was just me. So I wanted to keep up with them. I wanted to, you know, like, and it took at one time that when I was like realizing, I was seeing it was like a surreal moment because I was looking around me and I was just like, man, like, is this what I want for my life? You know, like for my daughter, for an example, you know, like my kids started just coming in my head.
Yeah.
You know, like, is this what I want? You know, and then I feel like it was already like heavy on me, but I continued.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I got all of that out of me there.
Yeah.
You know, and then there was a point in my life that, I don't know if I shared it here before, it was a point that I was homeless, and it made me realize that I cannot, it was me and my 3-year-old, because in that time Natalie was 3, and we were living in my car. And that is whenever I was able to realize that I couldn't live the same life my friends were living. You know, because I had to be an example to a little kid, and I couldn't just...
What got you homeless though? Because you said your parents were involved and there for you.
Yes, they were there, but I was very much prideful, and I've spoken about it before. Yeah. Like, I didn't want to go back and them tell me I told you so, kind of thing. So it was a pride thing. My parents are awesome, and they always helped me and supported me in every way. But I think my pride got the best out of me. And whenever I was in that space, like in that scenario, in that is whenever I realized, like, what the heck am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, Claudia, you need to figure this out, and you need to figure it out quick, because your daughter is, because of your action, you're not only affecting you, you're taking somebody with you, you know? And yes, your friends are there, but they were only there when it was the party life.
I think that's an important thing to acknowledge. Your actions had your daughter there. And that's something that a lot of us hesitate to realize. Like, hey, my actions got me here. My actions have her here.
Yeah.
Like, that was your turning point, but you had to realize, take accountability. What I'm doing is not okay for her.
Yeah.
And I think that's hard for a lot of people to do.
Yes, I would agree, 100% agree. Like,
do you still remember that moment that you had that revelation? Like, wait, this is what I'm doing to her, not just myself.
Yes, I can remember clearly where I was at. Like, I think it was 2 nights before is whenever I was just like, what the heck am I doing? When I saw all my friends, we were all partying, and it was just kind of like showing me like what I was doing. I'm like, this is not getting me anywhere. And then when it actually happened, when I became homeless, because I was partying so much, I didn't have anywhere to go. I couldn't afford any place. Like, they locked me out of my, you know, whenever you get kicked out of apartments, eviction.
Like they change the locks?
Yeah, they put something on your doorknob that you can't get in.
Lockbox.
Yeah. Something. And it's more like, you know, those child like protectors things, lock. Like the...
Oh, wow.
But it has like a key, and you can't get into it. So not only did I not have where to stay, I didn't have my personal belongings. Like, they locked me out. So it was in that time that I was just like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
You know, and I believe that was the shift of me, you know, like that's whenever I pivot, and I was just like, what am I doing? Like, I'm never, and I felt so alone, even though that, like I said, my parents were always there, but I didn't want to go to them.
Yeah.
Pride, whatever it was, I said, I got myself here. I need to figure this out and figure it out fast.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, you know, and I believe that that's whenever I pivoted, and I was just like, I need to figure this out and figure it out fast. So I started like getting stuff together. Again, I say it a lot on these podcasts, like started surrounding myself with different people, or even at this time, not even surrounding, like cutting people off and isolating myself to figure out myself
because
first.
sometimes we think it all has to happen at the same time. Like, I need to have this revelation, I need to cut people off, I need to have new friends. Like it doesn't all happen at the same time. So if this is something that you're relating to, what Claudia is sharing, just know that this was a period of time.
Yeah.
You don't have to do this all right now and flip your whole world upside down.
Yeah.
Like, this took time.
Yes, it did take time, and even realizing, like, what is the next step? I started removing myself from, oh, you want to go out? No, I can't. Like, I had to choose myself. And I go back to, like, your circle matters, because it truly does. They were trying to take me out and partying, or take me out and doing stuff that I was trying to, like, stay away for, so I can focus on giving my daughter a better future or a home. Yeah, exactly. Because I had a responsibility of a kid, and they didn't. You know, and so it was very much like, when I think about my 20s, I think about that moment specifically, that whenever I was homeless.
Yeah.
You know.
So when I think about my 20s, I think about violence, because I was pretty much violent. But, and I did have kids, and they saw the violence.
Yeah.
But my pivot moment where I'm not her anymore, or I don't want to be her anymore, was when I almost got locked up.
Oh. Angie, I didn't know that.
Tell it.
I got into a physical altercation, which typically happened, but this time I got caught. Or no, not that I got caught. Somebody pressed charges on me. Not that I got caught, because I wasn't doing anything in secret.
They told on you.
But they told on me. And so they pressed charges. And that was my moment of clarity, like, I'm a mom.
You can't keep acting
They want
like
to
this.
charge me with a felony. And the felony meant a minimum of 2 years in prison. So when you hear those words, you're like, what have I been doing with my life? I am violent. I am angry. And people told me that, my whole life. But I didn't listen to them. I'm like, no, you're angry.
I'm fine.
I'm fine. And you make me angry. So, it's your fault. Yeah. But the moment that happened, I realized all of a sudden I was a mom. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I had already been a mom for 9 years. 10 years, I guess. Because I became a mom at 21, and then that happened when I was 26. But it did not get cleared up until I was 31.
Wow.
Because I had to go to court. I had to fight all these charges. I had to do community service. I had to be on probation. I had to clear my record. So it lasted a long time, that revelation of, how did I get myself into this?
Yeah.
So I had to take anger management and realize I really do have a problem.
Yeah.
So I don't really miss nothing about her other than I was fierce. I was bold. I was spontaneous.
Yes.
And because I didn't care. I really didn't care what other people thought.
Yeah.
I really didn't care how they felt. I was selfish though in that moment. And then a lot of things, of course, led up to that, but those aren't what we're talking about today.
Yeah. Keep watching.
So in the midst of that, I had to turn myself in and having that revelation of I'm a really angry, messed up person.
Yeah.
And it really is me, because before that, it wasn't me. You could not tell me it was me. It was everybody else.
I think we all have moments.
Yeah, I'm like, oof.
I spent my whole time, because of coming out of teenage years, you really got the messed up version of me in my 20s. But again, I was fun. I was fun messed up.
I was jacked up, but that was a good time.
I'm still a good time, just healthier version of that. But for me, it was coming to God. Like, it really was a faith journey for me, because I realized I had more purpose than what I had been living. And I did not realize that before. I didn't realize I could be a person, or I had an identity,
Yeah.
or I didn't have to be this. Like, that was not my identity. Anger was not my identity.
That's good.
Violence was not my identity, because that's who I been my whole life.
Yeah.
You know,
That's how you
mode,
labeled
survival
yourself.
Mode, survival
Yeah.
mode. So I was just surviving, and whoever got in the wrath of that or the path of that, too bad. That's
Just,
your
like,
fault.
bulldoze
You got in
through
my
them.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was also nice, because some people don't even see me like that. When I talk about stuff, they don't see me like that.
Yes.
With my friends, they're like, "No, you've always been a great person," and I'm like, I was really messed up. And
Yeah.
if you think I was a great person, then
And you
you're
didn't
also
even
messed
know.
up.
You didn't even see
You
it.
need help too. Like, let's go together, because it wasn't right. But yeah, it was a faith journey for me. I realized I really have more purpose, and I have kids. Like, how do you not realize you're a mom when you're a mom for 9 years
Yeah.
already? Like, it didn't really. I was so selfish. I didn't have that. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to describe how I didn't have. I was nurturing.
Yeah.
But I was so selfish in my anger that I did not really label myself a mom. So crazy. I don't know how to describe that, but yeah, those are my kids.
You weren't motherly.
Even though I could nurture them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though I was.
Or maybe you thought
just really
you were
don't-
nurturing them, because we've
My
talked
version
about
of-
yes.
thought you- the
my
nurture
version
that you
of
Yeah.
they were alive.
Yeah, because we've talked about your, having BC kids and After
Yes.
Christ kids, and the BC kids, maybe you thought you were nurturing them, and they're sitting there
Oh no,
like,
yeah. They tell me all the time.
I
like,
was not nurtured.
No, yes. You're right. I thought I was being nurturing
Yeah.
because I was providing.
Yeah.
Which is how I grew up. My mom would always say, "You have a roof over your head, don't you?"
Yeah.
Like, that's all you need.
Yeah.
So yes, I wasn't like the huggy, lovey, kissy, I love
Yeah.
you type of mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were a provider, but not necessarily a mother.
Yeah, but very much living for me, myself, and I. Absolutely. And I was married. And so Benny and I always say we were roommates
Roommates.
for, that whole time. But yeah.
For me, I think a lot of times, so if you've been watching and you know us personally, you know that my two girls are not my biological girls, but I know that God knows what He's doing, because so many times I see them or their personalities, something happens at home, and I'm like, I swear I could have birthed you. With Lisette, she's our oldest, and she's fearless. She's bold. Like, she'll say what she means, and she's just like a little firecracker. And I'm like, man, I miss that old version of me. But at the same time, I love who I'm becoming. So there are things about the girls that remind me of who I used to be, because sometimes we've done so much growing that we forget who we were. We forget what got us here.
Right.
And they are constantly reminding me of who I once was at that time, at that age. They're very similar, very different. Layla she wants to be out and about. You cannot keep her home. She always wants to be somewhere. She loves being with her friends.
Social butterfly.
She is a social butterfly, but when she's home, she's home. She is like a mix of homebody and party girl. Like, she wants to be and with her friends. And so I'm like, I get that. Like, I wanted to be out, but I also lived on my own. Like, so just talking about like the different phases that we were. Before I was married the first time, I was very like, let's go do this, let's do that. Like, I wanted to be everywhere, do everything, because I wasn't afraid. And then I went through this season of being married, and the marriage that I was in really put me in this shell. Like, it was a very, very hard time in my life. So when different things happened in that marriage and we ended up getting a divorce, I found myself angry and bitter, and it was to the point where I didn't recognize. Now looking back, I don't even know who that person was, because I was going out, I was still trying to be who I was. You know how you try to go back to who you were, but you're no longer that person, you're different. So I was trying to go back to be the party girl. Let's go to the bar, let's hang out, let's have drinks. But I had bitterness and anger from what had happened in my marriage. So then it led to me being with different men, being in different situations, And I put up this, like, I had such a hardened heart that I didn't care what I was doing. And that's not who I am, but it was who I was in that moment, out of anger, resentment, bitterness. So when we talk about shifting in different seasons of our lives, I do want to touch on that, because I feel like sometimes we are acting out because of situations that we were in. We are being angry. We are having conversations. We are creating arguments and fights because it's not who you are. You're just hurt.
Right.
And as we talk about our identity and who we were, I want to point that out, because that's not who you are. It's the things that happened to you. It's who you became. Yes. So those are two different aspects. And for me, it wasn't necessarily a faith journey, but when I met my husband, we didn't date for a while. We met and we were friends. We went to the same church. He kind of came into my life and we just did life together. Like, it wasn't like, oh, we met in DMs and let's meet up and go on a date. Like, we didn't meet with dating intentions. We were kind of just around the same people. And so for my husband, the way he started treating me, the way he would talk to me, the kindness that he had for me, it made me completely reevaluate myself, my morals, my values. It made me see myself how I was meant to be seen. He was treating me how I was always supposed to be treated. And he helped bring out the person that I was supposed to be this whole time. So when we talk about these different phases, we talk about these different phases in our lives. I felt like when I met my husband, it brought out my strengths. Mind you, he wasn't my husband. You're always saying you are who you hang out with. It's all about your circle, who you surround yourself with. At that time, he was just somebody I surrounded myself with. And he had 2 girls. And we would go and I would hear them talk about, praying for their dad's wife and who they needed in their life. And not that I thought at that time that I was his wife, but hearing the kind of woman that young girls needed. It made me reflect on myself, my actions, how I was living my life at that moment, and how it's not okay to be this kind of woman that has no self-worth, no self-respect. Like, that's who I was. And I didn't care. I didn't care how people saw me. I didn't care who saw me do what. I was just in this phase of my life that I didn't care. And it wasn't the same way of I didn't care when I was in my early 20s. It was different. The same, the same thing in a different way. So in my early 20s, I didn't care because I always had a security blanket. And then in my late 20s, early 30s, I didn't care because I was angry and mad. So, and then I feel like that was that transition in my life. Like, yes, it did transition into my faith and my belief, but I really, really give credit and give honor to my husband, because I know that he was a person that I needed at the time that I needed it to remind me of my self-worth and my value. So I think that was my transition point for me, was what he was bringing out of me in a healthy way.
Yeah. For me, I remember thinking, okay, I have more purpose. This is not what I was made to do. But I remember thinking, I need to be a mom.
Yeah.
So I've spent the last 17, 18 years making up for not being a mom.
I light one off. Okay.
So good.
Yeah, making up time for what I was to them for like 9 years. So yeah. I get it, because somebody spoke life into me. It just happened to be God Himself.
Yeah.
But God used,
and I didn't have a relationship.
Your friend.
Yeah, I didn't have a relationship with God, so God had to use him.
Yeah. To show you.
to show me love. And then through him, I had a better relationship with Christ, which is what we bond over.
Yeah.
Because
It's similar.
it's similar to Claudia's story. Is her husband helped her to have a better relationship with Christ, and that's the same thing my husband did with me.
Yeah. For me, it was my kids. It really was my kids.
I think also for me was that realization, you know, my daughter. I think it was because going back to like when did the shift happen, it was just kind of, I spoke a little bit about like whenever I realized that I needed to change, that I needed, until I was down, whenever I realized that that's not,
you had her living in your car.
yes, that I had her like going through it with me, which she was like a
3
kid,
months
you know, like she didn't know what she was doing. I knew better. I was the one that she looked up to, and I'm all like, do I really want my kid to live this life? Because I wasn't living a good life, you know, being a good example. So I think I used that to just shift. Although that, you know, like, yes, it was all fun. Yes, it was everything. But there comes a point in time that this is not the life I want for my kid.
Yeah.
So I had to like fight for that to get out. You know, sometimes whenever you're in it, you're because you're around the same people and they're doing the same thing and they're inviting you and you want to feel included and you want to like people please, because I think honestly I was pleasing to my friends.
Accepted.
You know, I wanted to be accepted, being rejected for, you know, through my whole issue, like being, you know, trying to fit in, being a teen parent, trying to fit in with everybody else, but not going to prom, not going to this, not going to that, you know, so I wanted to be accepted.
Because I'm still a teenager.
Yeah, because I'm still trying to like live my life, and but again, I have responsibility. So doing that was just kind of like, man, like she's paying my consequences, you know, like, and that wasn't fair for her, and I wanted to show her more than that, you know. So I think whenever I talk about my shift is whenever I use that moment in my life, and I don't regret anything I lived in that time because it taught me, or it's the person I am today.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like, it's part of my testimony, my story. Like that situation gave me the strength to be able to fight through all the odds of everything, because being a teen parent, trying to pay an apartment, trying to like pay a car, trying to like survival, you know, like
you would still be on help.
Yes.
Government assistance. Right.
And you know, even though
I mean, that's great. I'm just saying you would still be there.
Yes.
And she's older now. I mean, that would have been what you relied on, and you didn't.
No, and I had a choice. I had a choice. Like we all have a choice, you know. I had a choice to either stay in my mess or learn from it and know what I wanted and work towards getting out of that, and not being one of those numbers, you know, of being a teen parent fall under, you know, like that.
Now you're not successful now. Your kids are not successful. And it's just kind of like a generational thing where you decided
generation or curse. So I again, it goes back to I had a choice, and I used that to be able to push me to do all the things I did. You know, it was hard, you know, living, I mean, working 2 jobs, you know, going to school and being a parent, a single parent, a single teen parent, you know, like all of it. Like everything was against me for me to go down a hole or me to go down the other way. But I think that although like I don't regret anything from my early 20s, like whenever we say like, who is she? Like who was she? Or, you know, she was a lost, like people pleaser. Like, I don't know. I just trying to find my identity or trying to find my place, because I didn't fit in with the moms and I didn't fit in with the teenagers. So I'm trying to figure out who I was. Yes.
Because that was college years. Everybody went to college.
Yeah. So I'm just like, trying to fit in, you know, and I think that pivot moment is whenever like all of that I went through, I stopped feeling sorry for myself and start, you know, working hard to be able to figure that out.
And reflecting on these people, these women that we used to be, it's just a reminder that your circumstance, whatever you're going through right now, if you are in this hard season, you can either let those be your excuses or you can let them be a reason to catapult you. Like, because of this, I'm going to try. Because of this, I'm going to sacrifice. Because of this, I'm going to make changes. You can either make it an excuse or you can make it a reason.
Yeah. I remember there was a time where it was another pivotal moment, but it wasn't too far after I met Jesus, right? Like we all have that Jesus moment.
Yes.
I remember Brittany was like 7, around that age. And I remember seeing her, she was like walking towards me and I saw myself. It was like a reflection of who I was. And I remember being that age, and that was my breaking moment, my vulnerable moment with God. Because I was like, I am her. She is me. I'm doing to her what's been done to me.
Yes.
And after that moment, I decided I'm going to be a good mom. I'm going to be present. I'm going to be there for her. But it took me a long time. I know I'm still talking about being a good mom, right? It took me a long time, though, to change from who I used to be to transitioning into somebody she needed me to be.
Yeah.
And somebody I needed when I was her age.
Yes.
But like Casey said, I didn't use that as an excuse. I didn't use trauma as an excuse. I didn't use, well, nobody did it for me as an excuse, or I didn't have the resources. I picked myself up and I made a decision.
That's the reason that you
I
did
made a
do
decision. I'm not going to keep letting that, who I used to be, who I am, define who I am. I have more purpose, and being her mom is a purpose. Being a mom is a purpose, because I had 2 kids at the time. But gradually, because I decided to be a better person, God took me to through school, through college, and I almost didn't even graduate. I mean, I don't know how I graduated high school, but I got degrees in counseling and being softer and vulnerable from somebody who was completely angry and violent.
And
so
refuse
it's like
to acknowledge
feelings.
feeling.
Refuse to acknowledge feelings. We don't have feelings around here. To somebody who talks about their feelings all the time. Or other people's feelings all the time.
Yes.
It used to infuriate me when people would talk about their feelings. I'd be like, oh my God, shut up. Why are you crying again? And now I'm the crybaby. Like, I cry for everything.
I'm a crybaby too. Yeah. I cry at commercials. I'm a crybaby.
But now I want to talk about emotions and resolve and process and all kinds of things that would infuriate me before.
Yeah.
It's because I didn't know how to do it. So I didn't want no one else to do it either.
A few weeks ago, Lisette spent some time with my sister, and I love that they have like one-on-one time, and sometimes it'll just be me and Layla to go visit my family, and she's getting to be around my family. So when Lisette went on her own to go spend time with my sister, she came back home and she was telling me and John how my sister was telling her, she told me, my sister was telling her how I used to be. And she's like, Casey used to be so mean, and Casey, like, you don't know her. Like, if you made her mad, she would tell you right then and there, and we have to be careful, and who we invite her around and what we say around her, because she'll like go off on people. And Lisette was like, what? No, not Kate.
We're not talking about the same person.
Since we're talking about who we used to be in this podcast, this just happened a few weeks ago. And she was telling me, and I'm just laughing, and she's like sitting in the kitchen table, and she's like, they're telling me who you were, and I can't even picture it. I can't put you in that person. Like she really thought they were making it up. And she's like, no, there's no way that was her. And that night I told John, I'm so thankful that she doesn't know who that person is. That she can't even put me in the same room with that woman. And I know that's who I used to be, but as you evolve and make changes and grow, I mean, I know everybody's different, but like we said, we get to a point in our lives where we forget that that's who we were. And how powerful it is when your kids forget that that's who you were. So
Yeah.
for me, I mean, I was blessed with her in our marriage. So she never knew that person, but I'm glad that she can't even picture that person.
Yeah.
That tells me a lot of my own personal growth.
Yeah.
Like,
When I talk to old friends and they say things like that, it does remind me like, oh, I have changed.
yeah.
Because I can still be bold and courageous, and I'm not angry.
Yeah.
You know, and when people say they can see that, like, you haven't changed that much, but you're different.
Yes.
I realize I can be that person, but not angry, not bitter. I can still be
Those are
bold,
still
I
your
can
strengths.
yeah.
That's still who you are.
Because those were my strengths before.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's important to learn is don't think that you have to change so much about yourself. God created you exactly how you are. Like,
when I became a Christian, I really did dumb myself down. I thought I had to be quiet. I had to be fragile, or not outspoken, or don't say that, you're gonna make people mad. That's not kind. That's not forgiving. That's not patient. All these things.
like the fruits of the spirit.
Yes, but I really I dumbed myself down though. I thought, okay, I can't say that. I can't do that. And I really lost who I was when I became a Christian. I like
because you're
my
trying to
core
fit
self.
this mold of
Not
who you think
the
you need to
bitter
be.
person I was, but like my core self.
Yeah.
Who I really wanted to be. I am vocal. I am an advocate. I do speak up. But when I became a Christian, I didn't.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, God's not pleased with that. Let me whisper.
Yeah.
I wasn't loud. Like I'm loud, naturally loud.
Yes.
And I laugh loud and I talk loud and I'm not angry.
Yeah.
And that was labeled as being angry. Like that was my old self, and I can't do that anymore. And I'm like, okay, I don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
I think that's very good that we're talking about this, because there's a lot of people right now in their walk that they think those are bad things that they have to change about themselves. Not necessarily. Maybe navigate how you do them, yes. Like you said, I had to learn.
Well, I had to learn there's a difference between character, which I wanted to change my character, versus my personality.
Yes.
Those are two different things.
Yes.
So I wanted to mold myself into a godly character, godly woman, but I can still have a personality.
Yes.
I can still laugh. I can still address things. I can still be vocal. Like I can be loud. I don't know how to be quiet.
Yeah.
And I really tried to learn how to be quiet, but that's my personality.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
And on the flip side, I have to learn how to be more vocal. I have to learn how to be a little bit more louder. And just because I don't talk loud, just because I don't speak like, how you said, I voice my opinion. If you're out there and you are not like that, that doesn't make you a weak woman. I am a very strong woman.
Yeah.
I'm very bold. I'm very expressive.
Yeah.
But it's when
But
I
people
need
use
to be.
that as identity.
Yeah.
It's not our identity.
You're not a pushover. You're not too soft. Like, no.
Yeah. And being loud doesn't make you rude.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something that I was reading here on our notes, it was just more of like, what do you miss of that?
Yeah.
Like of that old you, and it made me I'm kind of here sitting and thinking about like, what do I miss from that old me, and I honestly can say I don't miss that person. Like, do I regret all of that? No, because that's who I am right now. But I think I love and I'm embracing the person I am now, and I'm still learning. I'm still every day is a learning lesson. Every day I'm learning. Every day you're evolving. Every day you're growing. Which is what we're supposed to be doing. Learning from our mistakes and growing. I don't regret the old me. I don't regret my flaws that I had back then, because they're lessons. I won't really take them back. Those were lessons for me. And those were I believe that was the strength that gave me I had to go through that to give me the strength where I'm at now,
Right.
which we
Yeah.
talked about. And then for you ladies and men, anything that, from your past, like instead of saying poor me, like you were saying earlier, poor me, use those as strength to be able to overcome and become somebody better. You don't have to fall into like this generational curse that we call, because my mom was like this, my sister's like this, or my grandma.
My
like,
family's loud.
yeah,
Like, no.
and because that's why I'm like this. No, you have a choice to not be like that and let it stop with you and learn from them to be able to grow and overcome that. Because if you're a mom out there, you'll be able to teach your kids otherwise. And if you're not a mom, you have the choice to be able to grow, to be able to use what you've been through to help you, make you stronger, make you more confident, help you grow in that aspect of your life. Be able to give you the strength to get to the next level, whatever the next level is. Whatever it is. Marriage or anything. Motherhood or anything. And that's whenever it says, "What do you miss about that past self?" I don't miss her. I'm thankful for her. I'm thankful for her, I would say, because of her, I am where I am now.
Right. Yeah. I don't miss anything either, because I don't. Well, because I became her, but like I said, 2.0, a way better version.
Better version of her.
I'm trying to think. No, I really don't. Because I can have all the feelings now, and I didn't before. I can have purpose. Before, I didn't have hope, so now I have hope. So, I don't miss anything either. Like Claudia said, everything was something that needed to happen to make me stronger and bolder now. Like I said, in my 30s, I kind of dumbed down who I'm supposed to, quote unquote. But then I found myself again.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to evolve. Like, it just comes naturally. I'm here trying to stuff her down again. Yeah. So, no, I don't miss that version of me. I love who I'm becoming or who I am now and who I'm still becoming. Yes. I love this version of who I am. Being vulnerable was the last thing I needed to do, and God pushed me into that 4 years ago. So, I don't miss it.
For me, I had to realize missing her, like that saying, I miss her, but I love me. Mm-hmm. For me, it was realizing it's okay to miss her, but still love who I am. Mm-hmm. There are parts of her that I miss, and I mean that in a way of like, not that I don't do them anymore, but I don't do them in the same way. I love hearing live music. I love going to concerts. I love going to comedy shows. I did that more freely back then. Mm-hmm. I miss that side of her, that spontaneousness in that aspect. But I love me, meaning I still do it in a different way. We take trips. We go to concerts. I am still spontaneous in a different way.
But with responsibility.
And we plan it out now. We don't just randomly fly and do it and go spend all our money in one weekend, because that's what I used to do. And then just budget for the week. But I will admit that I do miss her, but I love me. I love who I am. I love who I'm becoming. I love this life that I'm building with my family. I love my walk that I have going on with my faith. Mm-hmm. I love who I am and who I'm becoming, but I've learned to acknowledge that me personally, I do miss her. Yeah. There are parts about her that I miss, because that will always be a whole nother time in my life. Yeah. That will always be a whole nother season that I was in. There was a freedom that I had that I don't have anymore. I just have it in a different way. Yeah. So I will say, for me, I can say I miss her, but I love me.
Let's do something different. What's one thing you would tell your old self?
I think that goes back to my laugh and learn part from the very beginning of this
Laughs and
episode.
lessons?
Yeah, laughs and lessons. I would tell her, you know, breakups are hard and losing people is hard, but you will love again and you will love differently. It won't be the same, but allow yourself to love again. I would tell her that. Don't harbor that bitterness, don't harbor that hurt, because love is not a once in a lifetime thing. God knows exactly what's for you, and it will find you. And I don't mean in a person, I mean in general. Love will find you again, and don't be closed off to it.
Because a lot of people are afraid to do
To
something
allow
again
themselves
'cause
to
they got
love
hurt.
and be loved.
Right. For me, it would be, oh goodness, without being super emotional,
I'm trying. I'm like,
you cannot get time back. So if I could tell my 20-year-old self to get it together, because time is so precious and valuable and you cannot get time back, you do not get to rewind it, I would do things a lot different. I don't regret it and I don't miss her, but if I understood memories, core memories,
moments
if I
to
understood
memories.
those moments for what I know now, I would not have wasted so much time being so angry.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would tell her to forgive. I would tell her to accept love, and love is not violent. Love is not abusive. Love doesn't have to be that either, because what I got is what I gave.
Yeah.
Because I always tell my kids, if I could just have y'all little again, I would definitely redo that. Because I missed a lot of their childhood.
A lot of moments.
A lot of moments that I don't even remember. And even with the AD kids, in my 30s, I was going through a lot of mental health issues. And I miss a lot of their toddler years. So I want to say like the first 12 years of being a mom, I just don't have that many memories or good memories. So I can imagine what they remember.
Yeah.
And that is something that I would want to do different. And I would tell her, girl, get your shit.
Get your ish together.
Your shit together, because you
Lifetime is
cannot
precious.
relive their moments, like their life, their younger years, being a toddler, being able to cuddle them. I complained if they needed to sleep in my bed. I complained if they were bored and I had to entertain them and play with them. I didn't have time for that. So, yeah, I wish I did get a redo.
Yeah. And there are moms out there right now that are in that season of their kids being little, and we can't help but feel that way. You know, we got a lot going on,
Like, it's too
and
much
it's too
pressure,
much.
it's stressful, but honestly, like, it
Enjoy
goes by
these
so
moments.
fast. And I know a lot of moms who are just really trying to figure it out, and they're so stressed out about figuring out life. And I get it, because they don't have food on the table. We've been in a situation where we're eating crackers, or we had to share a ramen noodle soup. And I still think back to those moments and think, I wish I was still present in that moment where I could have reassured them that things are going to get better. Instead, I wasn't. I was frustrated.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I love that.
And I also wish that my dog didn't eat up all my memories. I had books and photos and videos, and we had him in a shed. And before we lost our home, he got in that shed and tore everything up. So I don't even have my videos and memories of a lot of it I don't have.
Aww.
And husband videotaped over our wedding. So I don't even have that.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna go into a whole nother session about that.
I'm like, wow, this shifted.
But on top of like not having the memories, I don't even have the memories like, that I can hold and rewatch and relive.
Bring you back.
Yeah.
And
That was fun.
what would you tell her?
Wait, let me just take a moment to acknowledge that scream.
Yeah, because the podcast can't see the face.
I don't know if they heard that, but that's what that face was.
Yes. Forgive if you heard that. Forgive us. We're currently recording where there's kids in the background
Screaming.
Whenever you say, "What would you tell that old you?" It kind of it took me back to like, it literally like was just like back there, like back in my early 20s and all of that. And I think what I would tell her is not everybody is for you. And not everybody is for you, and stop trying to please the wrong people.
Yeah.
Because I believe I put my daughter in that situation because put myself and my daughter and myself in that situation because I was trying to please my friends, and I thought they were for me. And it came into a big realization that whenever I was homeless, they weren't there.
Oh God!
So it was kind of realizing.
Like, where are your friends out now?
Yeah.
So that's why I hold dear to my heart. Like, it matters who you surround yourself with, and and I realized that that was a big lesson for me, and I had. It was hard for me to trust even in friendships.
Yeah.
Because of it. Because I'm all like, you're just trying to figure out.
Yeah. What are your intentions?
Yeah. What are you trying to do here? Like so. Whenever you ask that question, I was just like, what would you tell that self? I was just like, it took me back. I felt like an emptiness in me, like, because it brought me back to that's how I was feeling. Whenever I thought my friends were all for me and they weren't. And that it's okay to trust and have friends. And I'm thankful that now I've allowed myself to be able to open my heart and, because I have great friends, I have you guys.
It's a good choice to like make boundaries and decide to move forward instead of staying in that place. A lot of people are like, I don't want to hurt their feelings.
Yeah. And okay, so whenever you say that, people say, I don't want to hurt your feelings. Like, what about your feelings? Like, your personal feelings. Like, who's going to acknowledge those?
And your growth and what you needed to do for your child. Yeah.
Exactly. So that it kind of goes, it takes me to that. Like, you don't people please and not everybody's for you. And,
loving people, let me just say this. Loving people has nothing to do with trusting them.
Yeah.
You can still love people and not trust them.
Yep. Yeah, you can. You truly can. So I think that's what I would say to that 20-year-old me.
You're like, girl, get out.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's okay to
yourself.
open your heart, and if I didn't give the opportunity to trust again and boundaries, what you said, boundaries are important in any relationship, even like especially friendships, because your friend won't make you feel some type of way, and I go back to friends because those friends weren't making me feel that they were there for me. Like they were only using me for
the fun,
whatever,
what benefited them at that time.
So, yeah, and I'm glad, like, again, it goes back to I went through that. Girl, I learned from it, and now we're here, and I am proud of who I became. You know, it was a hard time, but...
And you created your own circle.
Mm-hmm.
Were those people who you, like, grew up with? Or went to school with? How did you...
I think...
Because a lot of times I feel like it would... Well, for me, it was people I've known for such a long time, or we went to school together, or like kind of like a loyalty, maybe not pleasing them, but like a loyalty.
I don't see the friends that I did grew up with, a couple of them, but then the other ones came in the mix,
Right,
you know, like, so it's kind of like
a mixture,
yeah.
But did you feel some kind of loyalty to them? Was that kind of like playing a part in your decision?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, I did feel because I knew them, and I knew the ones I would hang around with, and I thought we were like this since middle school and stuff like that, you know, and then at the end when I was at my worst, they weren't there.
Because I feel like a lot of people struggle with leaving their old life when it's really evolving and growing, but they have a struggle with that because they feel like a loyalty to it.
A lot
their
of
old self, or their old people.
And that's where I came to realize that people are meant to be in your life for a season. Like there's a reason and a purpose that person's in your life, and they're not. Some of them are not intended to be in your life forever.
For a lifetime.
Yeah, for a lifetime. They're in here to show you either a lesson or, you know, go through with you through these hard times, whatever season you're in. I believe friends, you know,
there's kind of like an expiration date maybe in that season.
I really do think so, because that's whenever some of those friends that I've had, and not only in my 20s, like throughout my life, I realized that, you know, although leaving that friendship hurt, but I feel like it was done and over with. Like their purpose was met.
Right, because also
thing.
people feel like you can hurt their feelings if you say something like, I'm outgrowing them. And so they don't want them to feel like left behind, or they don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, right? People don't want to hurt people's feelings. So how would they be able to navigate that? You know, it takes a lot of boldness to be like, I really am outgrowing this season of my life, and I'm evolving into someone else. I need a change.
Yeah, and who's to say that you won't regroup with these people again in the future? They probably still have more growing to go through, and you're already like outgrown them, you know. Like, and it's not I don't think it's a bad thing. Like,
we have to learn
to be.
We have to learn to embrace our own growth without feeling guilty. That loyalty factor comes in. And like you said, I didn't want to outgrow certain friends, but there is a real thing of feeling guilty for outgrowing people, for feeling guilty for your own growth. And we can't do that to ourselves. We have to embrace our growth. We have to embrace who we're evolving into and the lessons that we're learning, because we're learning these lessons. And sometimes that means you can't take these people that have been with you, and you cannot feel guilty for your growth. We can't. Like, it's not fair to ourselves.
Yeah. And I really truly believe it's not fair for you, you know. It's not fair for, like, if you felt like this friendship, I think we're taking a whole new toll because of what we're coming from, but it's
the old self versus new self.
Who I am and who I'm becoming.
If I would have still hold on to let's bring it back to that one. If I was still holding on to those friends that I thought that they were for me, or in that season, maybe they taught me the lesson. Because of them, I was able to acknowledge what I was going through and taught me that lesson, that I didn't want to be there. You know, I do believe people come in your life for a reason and a purpose. I don't feel bad that I left them behind, because I'm thankful that because of that, I am where I am now, you know. But again, I see them, I still see them on social media, and I'm like, they outgrew that as well. But I am glad I didn't allow that to hinder my growth, or to keep me behind, or like to just continue to live in my mess, because that, because I decided to let that go, is where the growth came.
Make a
And
decision
letting
for
it
yourself.
go, that's a big part, because it's not on us for us to carry shame, regret, hurt, all these things. We're not supposed to carry them. We're not supposed to let them harbor. We are growing, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And we can't carry those things with us, because like we have so many demonstrations that we've done on carrying certain things that don't need to be carried. But if we're talking about who I was and who I'm becoming, who you're becoming is going to need you to let those things go.
Yeah, and if they're your real people, they'll evolve with you eventually.
They'll
It'll
clap
come
for
back.
your growth.
Yes, that part. They
And
will
support
clap.
you.
They will support you. They will clap for you. They will like cheer you on.
And
You
not
know?
take it personal, like,
Yes.
how are you doing this to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because my growth is about me.
Yeah.
It's okay to be selfish. I've learned that. Sometimes it's
Yes.
okay to be selfish. If you're not hurting anybody, you're not,
And you have to take care of yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Prioritize yourself.
All right, sisters.
And now we're through.
If you are listening, just remember it's okay to miss the person you used to be. It's okay to wanting, missing them, but it's also okay to grow out of it. It's also okay to grow.
Yeah.
It's also okay to be proud of who you're becoming. Like, don't feel like, oh man, I used to be this. No, be proud. Embrace who you are becoming now, because you're growing, you're evolving, and I've always said you're meant to do this. We've said this. You're meant to grow and evolve and be able to become a better version, or continue to grow.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You have any last words before we close out the episode?
No, I just think that if this episode related to you, or you can kind of relate to what we were talking about, if this is maybe what you're going through right now, maybe just drop us a comment, let us know. And it could be as simple like, I miss her, but I love me. Just let us know.
We need to hashtag that.
Yeah.
Hashtag character change.
Put a comment of what you felt.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us for another episode. And remember that you're not alone.
You're not consumed.
Another is in the fire.
Bye, guys.
Bye.